Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts with another video for the Fancy Fold Craft Challenge 2023. This month for November 2024. I can't believe it's already November. And this challenge was created by Monika Wiklewska, aka Paper Mona, and all these lovely ladies are joining in, and I joined them for the first time last month, and I'm joining them again. And I really like this challenge because I learned to create new folds that I haven't done before and I've never even heard before. And this month we're creating a pop-up box card. Let me just check that this is the right one. Sorry, pop-up block card. And I had a little look what it is. I found one of the ladies I'm following anyway, Patty Dolan, and she made one, but I'm not taking her measurements because she creates an American sized cards, so I will convert her ideas into British measurements. But I will link to her video below anyway, because this is where I got my inspiration from. So I have already decided on the papers I'm going to use. I'm creating another Christmas card. I know where this is going to because there are some sloths on here and some other cute characters. This is from the Works. I only bought that this year, so I think anyway I did. So this should still be available maybe in your local The Works. And I've also got some pink cardstock. I'm going to link to that below. I got this from Craft Stash only this week. It's called Hot Pink. I was a bit disappointed because I expected it to be different. It's from the Hunky Dory something scoreable range, and I knew it was white on the back, but I didn't expect it to be so shiny because I wanted something to stamp on. Obviously that doesn't work, but they say it works great for card bases, and this is what I'm going to use this for. I've also got a new scoreboard which I will show you in a second, but I'm just writing myself some notes about the British measurements, and then I will cut my pieces and I will show you the pieces and show you the scoring. So I've cut my card bases. I haven't cut my layers yet. I just want to show you how I cut this because I like to be economic with my cardstock. By the way, I don't know if you can see that I've already got fingerprints on this. I'm not happy with that cardstock, but never mind. So this is cut from one A4 sheet. Ideally, I would have had a 5 by 7. I think I've already got this wrong. No, it is correct. Sorry, my brain's just gone wrong. So 5, but I wanted a 5 by 12 piece, but I don't, this is obviously it's only 11 and 5/8 long, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter because you don't need the full length. So I allow for this, so the card will be a little bit shorter than 7 inches when it's finished, but that doesn't matter. So, and then I cut these two pieces from the rest of that A4 sheet. This one is 3 by 6 inches. Yep, 3 here, 6 there. And this one is 2 by 4 inches. And then from another panel I cut this sideways here. This is 4 inches by 8 inches. So I always like to know how I can cut things with the least of waste. So if you see me wiping, I'm trying to wipe away fingerprints there. So I'm getting my scoreboard out now and I'll show you how we score these. Apologies for the poor lighting, by the way. It is midday, but it's absolutely dark outside. I've put some lights on in here, but I feel like it's not really light enough. So this is my new scoreboard here. This is from Craft Stash, from the Creative Craft Products range, and this is the scoreboard and envelope box maker. It has got on the back, hidden here, it has got this envelope maker. I have got one like this. It's a much smaller one though. but the one I have, the measurements don't work out. So when I saw this one here, and I have been moaning about my scoreboard for a while now because it doesn't seem to be exact. It doesn't work for gatefold cards properly. I thought I'd give this a try. And I got my 10% off for the VIP membership, and also there was a what's it called, a discount for these craft products the other week. So yeah, I treated myself. It will get some need some getting used to though, because mine starts here with 0, this one starts here with 0, so I'll have to see how I do that in my brain. So I have to do it the other way around, I think. Never mind. So I give that a try. Oh, it comes with a bone folder obviously as well. I don't know if my other bone folder works with this. As I said, I'll give it a try. It feels very sturdy. The other one I can fold, you know, in half. But yeah, I think this will be fine. So for this card now, we need to score the big panel at 2.5. Sounds big now. And 5. Yeah, that's correct. My brain just has to get used to this. And I'm testing this cardstock because it says it's very scoreable. And it does score nicely. So that's that one. So that's the card base. And then we've got the panel that is 4 by 8. And this needs to be scored at 2, 4 and 6. As I said before, I made up my own measurements. I just used the Patty Dolan video as inspiration. She actually cut the last panel shorter, but I like this to be a full box. You will see that in a moment. So then the one that is 3 by 6 inches, we score that at 1.5. Oops, that was a bit wobbly. 1.5, 3 and 4.5. And then the last little panel, the one that is 2 by 4 inches, that gets scored at every inch. So 1, 2 and 3. So I'll put my scoreboard away and then I'll show you how we fold these. If I say I show you how we fold these boxes here, they are really easy. They're all mountain folds. So just bending them like this. Yeah, I'm just testing whether I would need to cut off a little edge. No. So, and I'm trying to, whether this is also nice, the cardstock, nice for burnishing. Yeah, so that's nice. So I do this with all these panels. And this one here is just a Z fold. So this one here, the 5-inch mark, that is a valley fold. And the 2.5 one, that's a mountain fold. So that you end up with this shape. So, and the idea behind these is, let me just fold these off camera and then I'll show you what we do. So, as I started my sentence, the idea is that these get placed here in this order, so from the bigger one to the smaller one to the smallest, and then you basically can close this up. Obviously I can't show you just yet. So if you alter any measurements, make sure that the smallest one doesn't fold higher than the length of this card. I think I might just get away with this here now, because obviously this is a little bit shorter than intended. If you have a 12-inch sheet, use that. So now we need to create some mats. It's really up to you whether you want to cover all the sides. I will just cover the tops here and the panel underneath. So I will work out the measurements quickly for you off camera and then I'll tell you what we need to cut. I have worked out my layers here. By the way, if you're this sort of crafter who likes to create mats as well, you can then reduce these here. I'll just hold these up here so you can maybe take a screenshot. So we've got the main piece here that is 4 3/4 by, well, mine is 6 3/8. If you've got the full 7-inch size for this part here, cutting it from a 12-inch piece of cardstock, you do 6 3/4, but I've reduced mine to 6 3/8. And this will go on here first before you glue anything else down. So I'm just using my magic glue. You can obviously use any sort of adhesive. So I'm sticking this down with a nice even border. So then we've got a panel that's also 4 3/4, but it's only 2 1/4 wide. I did, by the way, well, I cut this from one panel, but with the smaller panels, I made sure I sort of cut the pattern where I don't cut through, you know, one of the images, although I cut off the reindeer's head a little bit, but that's obviously a very small piece. If you're not sure, use a smaller pattern. I just like this cheerful one. I thought about using this, but then this one wouldn't go that nicely with the pink cardstock. So by using that one, I get all sorts of designs on there. So, and this goes here on the outer panel. Again with an even border. So, and then I suggest you decorate these before you glue them down. So what you do is you fold these in half, having the open side on this side, and then the panel goes onto this rectangle here. So this one here is, oops, that's 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. So again with an even border. If you hear any scratching in the background, that's my cat telling me it's time for lunch. So I will give him his lunch in a second. So I think I will just do these off camera. So same thing with these two boxes, fold them in half and put the panels on there. So we've got 2 3/4 by 1 1/4 for this one, and 1 3/4 by 3/4 for the smallest one. I just remembered that I forgot to mention one thing. If you want to join in the challenge, you can tag us with the hashtag FFCChallenge2023. I misspelled that here on my sheet, but I changed it there. So for the Fancy Fold Craft, so FFC. And yeah, we've also got a Facebook page. I'm going to link to that below. You can join us in our group there and see what other people are creating. So back to my panels here. So these have been all glued. So we start now with the biggest one. And I hope that this card holds the glue nicely. So I'm sticking with my magic glue. Now I'll tell you what, I will actually use the Cosmic Shimmer glue. I think that might be a bit better. So, and I'm putting glue, this is the opening now on the right hand side, I'm putting glue on this panel and on this panel. Oh, should have checked that it's freely flowing. Bear with me whilst I unclog this. So I found a second bottle that is a bit more freely flowing. I'll have to do the other one another time. So, as I said, glue goes on here. I find as soon as these bottles reach their end a little bit, well, I don't know, about an eighth left. I find they're not very good anymore. And the only glue I never had problems with is the magic glue. So we'll see. So now I'm placing this with this thing facing upwards onto the score line here, onto this score line, but making sure the distance between the top and the bottom is the same, if not at least similar, before I'm placing this down. So putting it in there, and now I'm closing this and basically picking up that glue on the front and obviously hopefully on the back. So I'm now pressing here underneath the flap. I'm also pressing on the back, because the more you press, the more it'll adhere. So I won't be tempted yet to open it, but I want to check on either side that I've got no glue oozing out, and I have. So I'm just quickly using my finger, or I can use a silicone tool like this just to wipe it away a little bit, because I'm conscious that on this cardstock it will definitely show. So on the next panel I will have to use less cardstock. Sorry, less glue. Just getting distracted here by my cat. So he's exploring my craft room at the moment. So I'm leaving that to dry for a moment because I don't want to mess this up when I'm putting the other box on, so bear with me. Yeah, it's not great. I don't know whether the glue is too liquid and it doesn't get absorbed, and that's why it oozes out. So I have to be much more mindful. I won't go as close to the edge as I have done here. I could use some adhesive tape or something, but I'll still stick with this now. But so be mindful that you use a glue that's suitable for the job. I just thought this would be good because it's, you know, it's a quick grab glue, but obviously it doesn't grab quickly on this cardstock. So as before, I'm setting this now against the block here, again with even space on the top of the bottom, and I'm folding this down again to grab this panel here. And this time I won't press as hard because I don't want the glue to ooze out like that. I'm just making sure it grips everywhere, and then I'm just opening this a little bit. I'm just looking from the side a little bit, just making sure it adhered, and then I'll leave this to sit again for a moment, and then I will do the same with the last panel. Fold it in half, glue on here, glue on there, and then put it in here, and then in the meantime I will create an embellishment for the front. My boxes are all glued down. It's not perfect. I'm not quite happy with it. The glue is not suitable for this sort of cardstock because it's not properly adhered here. It doesn't really matter. I think a non-crafter wouldn't even notice that. And here I had the glue oozing out. I have to tidy that up a little bit afterwards when it's fully dried. But it's okay. So the important thing is that it folds flat, which it does. So you can put it in a thicker envelope, or you could create a little box card. But yeah, the idea is that the recipient opens it up like this, and then it sits up with these boxes. So all I need to do now is to put on my topper. I have cut this from this sheet here. Can I zoom out? No. So that was also part of the paper pack, and I had the number 11 here on the side, and I cut this with my oval die, and I coloured the 11 in a little bit with just a crayon in a similar colour. And then I remembered that I had these little snowflake stickers. I bought these in Germany. Yeah, they're from TD, so if you're in Germany, grab those. I only bought these a few weeks ago. And I also put on a few rhinestones in different colours because I liked the look of that. So that is just my topper. I thought about putting a bow there at first. I thought, do I need a Merry Christmas sentiments? But I've got Merry Christmas on here. I've got the Holly Jolly. And I know that the recipient, she will really like the sloth there. So when it opens up, it sits on the side here, and then you can see the rest of the paper. And obviously you've got plenty of space there on the back once I've removed all the glue residue there. That's all the bits I've peeled off. So enough space there for the sentiment. Yeah, and I will do this off camera in a moment. Glue this on. You can obviously embellish it even further. You can have the embellishment even a little bit wider, as long as it's not wider than the card here. But you could stick out a little bit more. You could use some ribbon. You can do some heat embossing. So the world is your oyster there with this card. But yeah, I think this is a really cool, fun fold. I really enjoyed making this, except for my mishap with the glue, or rather say the cardstock. It's not you know, the cardstock's fault. I just didn't see what I bought here, so I'll have to find a different use for that. But yeah, otherwise, oh, by the way, just remembered something because I've got my anti-static powder tool here. If you have some stickers like these and they stick out at the back and they're a bit tacky, just put your anti-static powder tool on the back and then they won't stick to anything. But here actually it doesn't matter because it will be on top of the cardstock anyway. Yeah, so, and if you like this card, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And don't forget to check out the other ladies' videos. I'm curious to see what they create. I assume you can also create this as a bottom folding card. So open it up like this, maybe create a cake. I'm curious to see what they make. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon with another video.